What's up guys, Jason Cardamone with the DS Domination Genesis 90-day case study. We are going from zero to a brand new $10,000 a month or more these next 90 days. So we're on day 4, I have like 86 days left. So today I wanted to change things up a little. This is later in the day, it's 4:44 p.m. right now, and I didn't have a lot to report on this morning. I'd basically gone through a bunch of more Genesis training yesterday. I had initial goals to be through traditional all the way. Like I think by yesterday, it does look like I can get it done by tonight, but there's still probably a good, at least an hour I would guess of training videos. I think I counted there's around 8 of the videos left. And I take extremely detailed notes. So if it's like, if that's like an hour of actual video training, it's gonna take me 90 minutes to 2 hours, even though I'm a fast typer. I have countless pages of notes right now just from what I've done in the past 3 or 4 days here of training. So two main things I want to cover today, and this is gonna be a real twist on me just chatting to you guys. I'm gonna walk you through my process and break down this goal of how to get to 10,000 a month. And that's actually the minimum. That's not even the exact set goal yet. So we may do this again tomorrow, but I wanna walk you through my whole brain process. I would normally do this on a spreadsheet. Let me share that with you guys. I purposely am holding off on that so you guys can actually walk through it live. Because if you can't learn how to set goals, you're never gonna be able to reach anything correctly. And if you can't learn how to break the goals down backwards, I'm gonna walk you through that process. So maybe I should have did that part of it on the computer by a spreadsheet. Maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow, I don't know. So I wanna talk about that. I also wanna talk about we'll actually do this first before we break down the goals. I want to share with you the most recent video I went through is basically like, here's the things that will hold you back. And I want to share with you guys something. I might be off frame here while I'm reading this to you guys. So what can go wrong? And one really cool thing that I've seen Roger do, like he does this in the very first set of like the real basic videos before Genesis, the $20 a month stuff. And he breaks down here, if you're getting like 85% of our members are making profits, but in that 15%, here's what those 15% of people are doing. And he knows because he's had like thousands of help desk tickets. He's purposely worked the help desk himself so he could be in touch with the whole member field and what's happening. And so here's the one, some of the stuff he gave, what's gonna stop you from being successful with FBA and Genesis. So number 1 was your confidence. And he goes more, I'm not gonna go into details because I'm not here to just grab all the material and give it out there, but I wanna talk with you some basics. Number 2 was some of the, actually this is number 2 and 3 was some of the costs and the prices that you'll be up against with FBA. They might kind of freak you out and how you can manage that based on where you're at with things. Do smaller sample sizes, not just samples, do start with smaller quantities. If it freaks you out that, if you get a shipping quote for like a whole bunch of units and it's like $800 for shipping and that freaks you out, then do a way less quantity, get shipping to be like 50 or 100 or something like that. Your organization and your motivation. And it's funny because if you guys know me well, I'm not a naturally organized person. So that's why I started off this video. I created 2 main things we're gonna talk about. So I stay organized through technology. And one of those things is spreadsheets. And another thing is the calendar feature on my phone. So I used Blackberries forever. I've transitioned over to Google Calendar for everything, which syncs up with my phone calendar. It is the most amazing system. It's way better than my system I was using with Blackberry for from 2006 until the very end of 2013. I was using Blackberry's calendar systems and that had some flaws with it. So anyway, the point is, I stay organized through technology and how much it's helped me. I mean, even with this Google system, I'll like tag my wife and my mom on things that are important that they need to know about, and they'll get emails and reminders on their phones like, Jason, or we need to be doing this at this time and day, and it's, you know, tomorrow we have this family party, because my wife's like super unorganized compared to me. I'm unorganized, she's like the definition, like the furthest across the scale you could go, like super disorganized, super organized. She's way over here. I'm like on this end somewhere. And you know, we'll forget about a family barbecue we have tomorrow at noon or whatever. We need to be reminded about that kind of stuff. So he does talk about the organization. It's funny, I've already, I am extremely strategic and I'm very visual. So my mind already sees the exact spreadsheet, what categories and what's already happening. So Roger's walking us through the organization part and what you're gonna be up against. And all of that is already solved in my mind with the spreadsheet that's already created in my mind. And so, and actually that spreadsheet will be a reality within, I'm gonna say about 48 hours when I start contacting distributors and manufacturers and things. So anyway, that's a non-issue for me. And the last one, motivation. I don't think I really need any more motivation around this stuff, but what he talks a little bit about is that this process isn't like you just throw an item out there and just leave it and wait till it sells. This process is like a multi-days, you know, it's basically gonna take you at least 1 to 2 weeks to go through this whole process, your first time at least. I'm gonna bet for a lot of people it's gonna take like 2 to 3+ weeks. Now, I will say, there are people I know that already are having their first product shipped to Amazon's FBA facilities this Saturday, and Genesis was just launched last Saturday. So for them, 1 week later, they already have product being shipped to the FBA fulfillment center. And I think that also means that they could potentially be making sales already within 7 to 10, 14 days from when they first started. From when they first, that's from like when they learned about Genesis and stuff. So they're about a day or two ahead of where I'm at right now, which is cool for me to look at all that. And I thought I was actually further out than that, but I looked at all the process. I'm like, you know what? I could actually have done that today. But I want to have some a little bit clear goals. I am typically a guy who just takes massive action that course corrects as I go. That is part of my plan, but I'm taking just a couple of extra days here to really strategize and organize myself as I go into this journey. And so, so anyway, what else? The motivation stuff. Yeah, basically that's the main thing. So here's the whole point of why I just read all this to you guys. I wanted to write, I want to read you some notes I wrote at the bottom and share my thoughts around that. So a lot of the times in my notes, I will make a note to myself, and that's exactly what this is one of these notes to myself. And it says, JC, personal note to myself. I am going to crush this. I see none of the above as issues for myself, and I was born to do this. I will focus on every one of the skills and disciplines needed to completely crush and dominate with Amazon FBA. The exact way I'm doing this is going to inspire so many other people. It's going to lay the groundwork for countless others to join in the journey and completely change their financial destiny. I didn't write this in the notes here, but I did just talk to my mom about this, that I've seen the way Roger's doing this training, that you don't have to feel like, what did I say here? None of the above. I see none of the above as issues for myself, and I was born to do this. You don't have to feel like you were born to do this to have massive success, because Roger takes you from it. Like the confidence one, I can completely see that being an issue with people. Right up number one. I've never been so excited in my life. That's like the furthest thing is an issue for me right now. But that confidence comes from other things. And let's say you don't have that. This is one of the reasons I love this company and love how they did this. They actually show you can start out with ordering like one little thing and going to sell it. And then that builds a little confidence for yourself. Then you do like 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 others, depending on where you're at and your confidence, your comfort level, basically. So then you grab those and you go figure out what it takes to sell those and get a profit. And you can start as small as you want with this stuff. You're a little bit more confident, or maybe you have a little bit more money to risk and things like that. Go start with 100, 500, 1,000 units. But he addresses all of that in the training. And that's why this is so cool. I don't care who you are. If you own the Genesis train, by the way, they are going to close this out. So if you're seeing this video in the future, it's probably closed doors, I'm positive. They are going to open them as they have room, and there's reasons for it. They're not just trying to scare people. They don't want to just, there's certain guarantees they're giving, and they can't give those guarantees if there's like 10,000 people that own Genesis. So I don't care who you are if you own Genesis, and let's say you've even been sitting on it for a month or whatever, and the doors are closed and you haven't taken much action yet, and somehow you're watching this case study. I have no idea who's watching this thing, but if that's you, you need to realize wherever you're at in the training, it's all, the entire training, it's there for you. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There is some part of Genesis a way for you to have massive success with it. So I'm gonna walk through some numbers with you guys based on what I know right now, and hang on guys, I always gotta stay really hydrated. So I got my first glimmer today of finally being able to set some financial goals and then work it backwards. Now I said glimmer because I don't have full clarity yet, but I'm gonna really break it. Like, I plan within the next like 48 hours max, hopefully by tomorrow, be through all the training, work all these numbers I'm about to start playing around with you guys. Maybe maybe tomorrow we'll do like a screenshot and we'll break these down on a spreadsheet so you don't have to see me fumbling around with math up here. We're gonna keep it real general today. Tomorrow we'll get more specific. And maybe it's not tomorrow, whatever day that I choose is the right one to break down the exact goal with you guys. And then from there, then I get to create my intention audio, and I start pounding that thing into my ears like as many times a day as I can. Because what am I doing? I'm programming my self-image. I'm creating this goal. I'm creating this reality here 86 days ahead of ever doing it, ever making it actual money in my bank. So let's start breaking those numbers down right now. So basically, I'm actually not even gonna go for my notes. This is all gonna be from my current memory. And I say current memory because I've only learned this stuff once and taken notes once on it. So I may miss a few charges and some expenses here and there, but here's the basics. By the way, I learned this from Stephen Covey. Whenever you learn stuff, whatever you can do, like try to teach it to other people within the first like 24 to 72 hours. I just learned this like a few hours ago, and it will greatly increase your retention of the material. So if I really wanted to like master this stuff, I would go, maybe I'll actually pull it up right now. So hold on. I'm gonna pull up the exact numbers here. Where is all the stuff? This is a really good one. So basically we're calculating the price points. We have the actual item. We have freight. And I don't know if you guys can see this, that's fine, but we're gonna calculate all these parts of it. So taxes and duty, packaging, we have, I don't know why that's a separate fee, another box is one, or if you're even getting that. And then the design, and then shipping, different shipping than freight. The design, which is a one-time fee. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. These are the 5 main things, and this one is one time. So all these first 4 are basically gonna be a per unit pricing. Now, we're just gonna talk real general numbers right now. These, I don't know if these will even be close to the 3 items I've chosen to do research on, because I actually haven't ran my items through this process yet, but I'm basically doing that tonight and tomorrow morning and going through a couple videos that are finalizing like graphics and branding and packaging and learning some final details here. So we will get more clarity around some of these exact things, but let's say whatever our item is, let's say we can sell it, like a lot of the examples I've seen Roger use, and he uses a lot of different ones, which is awesome, but I've seen several that probably average where you're gonna sell something for around, so these will be the costs, this will be like the sales. So let's say you're gonna sell something for around 10 bucks, okay? And the cost is typically right around like $1. Plus or minus, could be 80 cents, could be $1.50, but and we'll keep numbers as whole as humanly possible to make the math like as easy as possible. So freight, it completely varies. Do I have any good example? Oh, actually this is, so freight will, I'm gonna say this is gonna range from like $1, let's just say, to about $2. Well, not 2 o'clock, Jason, just $2. That's probably a little better. Is that my finger? I just saw these little marks on my board and I think it's my finger writing. I think it is, that's crazy. Tax and duty, what are some, oh, hold on, my Evernote keeps like resetting to the top like it's doing a refresh. I've never known why it does that, but hold on, now I gotta go find where we're at again. I'm almost there. And I'm trying to write these down real fast, guys, so then I don't have to keep walking off frame and getting to the computer here. 15 cents, 15 cents, 15 cents, basically, okay, I think I'm about there. So this is around like 15 cents. This is around 15 cents. And these could be all over the place. And design will be a one-time fee. Now, I know a decent amount about design, but design is like if you're gonna put a sticker on the package or something like that, you go pay a graphic designer to do it one time, and then that fee would be divided by however many items you're doing. But then the next time you do a run of these items, you don't need to redo that fee again. So it's really gonna turn, basically the more items you keep doing over time, your design fee gets less and less, and pretty soon it's like 1 cent per unit. Then it basically is approaching negative, it approaches zero. And I'm not gonna get all math and freak you guys out with like approaching infinity, approaching zero. None of that matters. What happens is that design, it goes away over time. Let's just, let's round up just to make the numbers a little easier. I'm gonna actually call this 20 cents per unit for now, just for starting out. So basically, if we add all these together, we do $1, $2, let's stick to the lower end for now, $2 plus 30 plus 50, so we have $2.50. And then I'll figure out the other part if we pay to get freight. Basically, freight is getting your stuff from China to Amazon or to your house, depending on how you're gonna do it. Now we're ignoring if you're gonna source from US, which is, we have like 10 sources for that too. I haven't gone through the US modules and I need to do that this week too, because that is that's something I may end up focusing towards, but that's gonna make your freight be a lot less. Usually your item cost might be slightly higher, it might kind of balance, but so between $2.50 and $3.50. Now, these are basically the fees at the source. Now I'm gonna go like this, put a line here. Now you have additional fees that are gonna come on the Amazon side. And I definitely, I should probably, did I write all these down? I actually didn't, because we have a calculator that does basically all the fees for us. Yeah, totally. So I'm just gonna guess that the total Amazon fees, let me see here. No idea. I'm gonna say, well, I do have an idea. Let's say like $3 to $4. Let's just say $4. Let's keep it on the high end. So let's say Amazon. Let's say those are $4. Let's stay on the high end. So if we look at all this, we basically, let's go on the very highest end. Let's say it's $7 in costs right here per unit, and we're gonna sell them for 10. Now, I've seen some examples where he's only gonna make like 60 cents to $1.50 per unit. If we sell them for 10, and if we pay $7.50, we are going to make $2.50 per unit. So basically, let's say we're gonna start off and we're gonna do all this process and we're gonna try it out with like 100 units from China, like for this example, let's say. So 100 units times $7.50, that would be, hold on guys, I feel a sneeze coming on. I don't know if it's gonna come or not. Excuse me, sorry guys. So it'd be about $750 in cost, getting the stuff, everything done, shipped over, getting them to Amazon, all these different fees, we pay that much. When we sell all 100 times that, we make $1,000. But we paid $750, so we make $250 off of our 100 units. Now, so how much do we make? I'm going to focus on this number right here. $2.50 per unit. Now guys, I kept this extremely generic, but right now, so here's what I'm doing for the rest of tonight and tomorrow until I get additional information to have me adjust this more. Until I start running my 3 products through the actual price calculator and get my exact Amazon cost here. And so one thing Genesis, they're just about to have is basically a way for you to know exactly or approximately how much you're gonna sell per week, per day, all this stuff. Then you can look at all your, like, if you realize you're gonna sell 100 units per week and you know you're gonna make $2.50 per unit, how much is that? Well, it's $250 per week, right? So you gotta be getting 100 units to Amazon every week, and when you do that, you're gonna make $1,000 a month doing nothing but making sure that you always have products sitting there at Amazon. And there's ways to increase that and crank it up so you're doing more than $250 a week. You build that, it's really all about reinvesting continuously and then doing this for multiple products. So in this example, if we were selling 100 per week of these things, that's $250 a week or $1,000 per month. So how many times do I have to do that to make $10,000 a month in the next 90 days? I have to do that exact thing for 10 products, okay? So I'm breaking this all down backwards. And I know I just skipped some numbers that should be on the board. We're gonna do that, but I'm kind of talking out loud so you guys can see some of what's like, and I haven't ran these numbers at all up until right now. So I'm doing this like on the fly, live with you guys. I wanted you guys to see how serious I take goals and breaking them down and working them backwards. Because I have no idea how many products I have to sell to make 10,000 within the next 86 days from now. No idea. I'm gonna know, I'm gonna be able to work it down, and then I can aggressively work towards goals. So if this is my baseline right now, $2.50 per unit, here's another way to do it that's different. We know the goal, actually let me write this in red. The goal is $10,000 per month. And that goal, I may crank that to 30 grand a month. I don't know, but we're gonna break it down. So we have to figure out how many units do we have to sell at $2.50 to make 10,000 per month. Well, we just ran the numbers, and if we sell 100 per week, that's 250. That would be 400 units per month to make 1,000. So let's write that number down. 400 units equals 1K per month. So then the numbers are real easy. That's how we make 1,000 a month. we want to make 10 times 1,000 or 10,000, we need to sell 4,000 units. Per month at $2.50 to make this. So now, I'm like putting boxes on everything, so what the heck does that mean? I have no idea. So at least I did this one in red because that's our goal. Our eyes are drawn towards that. So really important numbers that here, $2.50 a unit, 4,000 units. And sorry if you're hearing doorbells in the background and stuff, I have no idea what my children are doing. So need to sell 4,000 units per month. So here's something I need to go, what are going to be my limiting factors to be able to make this much money per month? So, well, we knew from day one, cash, available cash flow, how much money do we have available to do this, to do all this stuff, how much do we need to be paid to do all this stuff? So here's what I'm thinking right now, and I'm not even running the numbers in my head. I want to know how much it's going to cost me to purchase 4,000 units in 3 months from now, or any months, maybe next month, and I'll ramp it up from there. How much is it going to cost me to purchase 4,000 units that I know I can do 10,000 a month with? So that's my magic number. What's it going to be? So we're going to take $7.50 times 4,000 units. Now, before I even do this, I'll just tell you, this is going to be a big number, and I'm already like, so here's my initial thought. Crap, I already know it's over $28,000, like $30,000 here, something like that. I don't have $30,000. I do realize selling all this stuff and everything we're doing, I can probably, between everything I'm doing, I think I can get about 10 grand because I have those extra commissions that came in. I can sell our van, just those two alone, that's like 9,000 on the low end, probably more like 10K. Plus, I have that 2,400 from whatever that thing is called, Cabbage, and so that's already 12,000. So now I'm not as freaked out. 30 grand, bring it on, dude. And here's why. You guys are like, well, 12,000 is not 30,000. How are you not freaked out? Because there's something called the snowball effect. So I get the 10, 12,000 this month, crank out this process, rip through it like I'm a rhino driving towards a goal, and just shred this thing apart in the next like 2 to 4 weeks. And because what happens when I get that first 12,000 into work for me? The 12,000 goes out and it grows. And all of a sudden it grows into like 16, 18 grand. And if I can repeat that over a 2 to 4 week process and do that 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, all of a sudden I have 30 grand that I'm rolling back in. All of a sudden I have profits of 10K a month. So you guys see, and this is me like rolling back in 100% of profits. Now that's not my exact plan, because part of the plan is I'm gonna roll in a high percent. It's at least 50%, and I haven't set that exact goal yet, because that's another whole process. What do I want to do? Am I going to take, when I make 10,000 a month, am I going to kill the whole machine and refeeding it and reinvesting back in? And am I just going to go grow like am I going to get a $10,000 a month mortgage payment in 90 days from now and starve the business? No, I'm absolutely not going to do that. And in fact, I can tell you right now, I will take at maximum half of this away from doing anything outside of this business. There's a darn good chance I'll be rolling in all of the profits, or a I actually won't. I'll tell you guys, I'm super aggressive around all this stuff, and I'm always putting in like 100, 120%, re-rolling back in just to make it completely explode. I'm not going to do that, because something I've learned, and this was, I learned this back I went full-time in 2008, and I learned this somewhere between 08 and maybe 09, 2010, somewhere, that I learned the importance to give to myself and my family, and really myself, I don't ever give to myself. I've actually never paid for an actual real massage for myself. I'm about to turn 39 this month. I love doing things for the family. Love it. It is like I'm about to start crying and have goosebumps. I love pouring things into the family because I work my butt off for all this stuff. And so the kids see me win, they're like, oh, Daddy's going to work. What does that mean? He's going to work to help people. When you help enough people, you make more money. That's, my children understand those laws that I've been teaching them. But then they're like, if they never see any kind of personal gain from it, they never see the money beyond this ridiculous house we live in. There's a lot of things in our lifestyle, they have no idea how good they have it. And I try to explain to them, and you know, it's like my dad growing up, you know, there are starving children in Africa, you better eat your food. And I didn't really fully appreciate what he was saying. Now, I'm like, dude, let's send money to those kids in Africa, let's get them some food. Like, I love that stuff, but when I was a kid, I never understood that because I didn't have the perspective. So, I try to explain things like that to my kids. There's a lot of things they have no idea how good we actually have it. But I've learned, like for example, my wife knows I'm working my butt off on it. Guys, this is like my 4th video today. So if you see a bunch of videos of this exact shirt, they were all shot on June 5th. Like all there, and you can look on YouTube, look at the tags. I've uploaded like 3 or 4 videos already today. And so I'm working my butt off. You know, the family hasn't seen me work as hard as I've worked in the last few weeks, like in a long time. They need to see some of the fruit of all these labors. And so I will definitely be taking a chunk of this and directly I'm gonna take 5 or 10% of this, I'm gonna throw it directly at my wife, like in cash, say, babe, do whatever you do with money. And her first instinct is like hoard it, like keep it to her, like put it in a savings kind of thing. And pretty soon she's gonna do that enough and realize like, this stuff doesn't stop. Like I'm gonna go get some stuff for the kids, for myself, she's gonna start. And that's just her nature, it's totally cool. As I continue to do that more and more and more, because that's a practice I've done on and off over the years, as I get really consistent with that, she's gonna be like, pretty soon, give her 1,000, give her 2,000, she's gonna go like shopping spree. And that's my goal, is to get her to detrain a poverty mindset. And it's not, guys, I'm just sharing this, it's not just my wife. I know it's like the majority of every person seeing this thing. I know I have pieces of that inside of me, those limiting beliefs I have to be aware of and destroy all the time. So anyway, so now I'm looking at this, let's do the exact numbers. So I know if it was 7 times 4, it'd be 28,000. If it was 8 times 4, it'd be 32,000. So it is exactly $30,000. So I need to be purchasing $30,000 worth of products in any given month to make 10,000. And it makes sense if you look at the numbers here. This is like 3/4 of 10. This is like 1/4 of 10 is the profit. So we're making a 25% of the total price we're gonna sell for here. So if we're gonna bring in a total of 40,000, 30 plus 10, 30 of it is the cost, 10 of it is our profits. I don't know if you just followed that. This would be way easier on a spreadsheet because I can make like labels and stuff. You'd be like, oh, I see what he's talking about. But basically right now, here's the ratio. So you guys know I have a math minor, right? So I took this test once a long time ago, and it basically came out in the end and it called me a visual mathematician. What the heck is that? It basically means I'm able to visualize numbers in a way like I can instantly see charts and graphs and stuff like this. And I'll just give you guys a couple examples I can think of. These are natural ways that I am like extremely gifted in. Like I'm not bragging, I'm in the top 1% of the world of doing things like I'm about to mention. Visual things like, for example, play Tetris. Be able to visually put numbers together in charts and drawings in a way that somebody who's just visual and maybe they're not good with math, they can get it. Here's a great example. Hear my kids screaming in the background. So right here, guys, what I'm drawing, let's say this is the total amount. And some of you guys are freaking out if you're not visual. You're like, I don't care about a pizza or a half-eaten cookie or whatever. So what this is, if this represents the total amount of money, then this is the part, 1/4 of it. If this whole thing represents 40,000, here's $10,000 and here's $30,000. So we have 30K out here. We have 10K or 10,000 right there. So I'm trying to give you some visual metrics so you can see it. You could also draw it like on the board. Like if here's the whole whiteboard, the part from my hand over this way is our profits. This is how much we had to pay to get this profits to crank out. With what I'm seeing with the numbers right now. Now here's the part that I need more experience, I need more training, and I need more real world experience. And I'm gonna touch on that too. I didn't plan this at the beginning. So one of these fits in the other, like it won't even stay in, it almost falls out. The other one like barely get it in, it's like stuck. Why are they not consistent? That's gonna freak me out, I'm all OCD-ish. So anyway, as I'm running these numbers right now, the one thing we haven't talked about, I don't have enough experience, what if we sold these for $15 instead of $10? What if we start getting established and all of a sudden I realize we can raise the price? Do you guys realize what raising to $15 would do? That would basically double our profits instantly. Instantly. It would mean we put in 30,000, we get out 20,000, or maybe another, actually I think we get out, do we get out a full 30,000? We do, we get out a full 30,000. So what it then means is that you put $1 in and $2 comes out. It actually takes this whole chart, puts the number right down the middle, and all of a sudden half of it. It turns this 10 into a 30K. I've never written backwards like that, that's hilarious. And that would be by just changing this number to a 15. So I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we can't do that. I think we can. Roger actually showed an example of a product that was selling on the marketplace for $30 and how he could get it to the market for like 20 and there was still a whole bunch of profit built in. And imagine if the whole marketplace is selling for 30 and you could sell the same thing for 20, you destroy it. And all of a sudden, instead of 100 a week, you sell 500 or 1,000 per week. So there's several factors we can play with here. We can play with the pricing. We can play with the branding. You know, so there's some things that I need to learn more about, but also some things that I'm gonna learn through the process, through what I always call the school of hard knocks, and what it really is taking action and course correcting as we go. So I'm sitting here doing these, you know, what some might call a pro forma. That's just some Latin word for like basically trying to guess the numbers before you actually do it. I love pro formas. I've been doing them since we bought our smoothie franchise in, when did I do that? 2002, 3, 4, 5, somewhere. I honestly don't even remember. That's right, we had about 5 years. I sold it off somewhere in like 2008. So around 2003, when I left work full-time the first time and went, that's funny. So I actually went full-time and left corporate America back in like 2003 till about 2004. Then I had to get jobs again for a few years in there. That was my sales career. I didn't even realize I had gone full-time way back in 2003. So, and I've been full-time since 2008 as far as internet marketing and stuff. Crazy. But anyway, this is a thing where, here's part of my personal game plan, guys. Right now the game plan, it's to get out there with an item, get through this process, pay for the freight, the shipping, get it over to Amazon, do all the stuff, get it from China, and go through the process. Why? And I don't even care if I like break even or just make a little bit. And here's why I say that. That might sound like insane to you guys, because I admit, it's like I heard Robert Kiyosaki always talk about, don't go take a job for the money. Take it for the experience you're gonna get out of it. And if you really understand how wise that statement is, it's exactly, I'm modeling him talking about that. And the reason is because I know as I go through this process, I'm actually doing this for the experience. I just told people on stage this past weekend, I was talking to 2,000 people and I said, or a little less, and I said, don't remember what I said, that's hilarious. I guess we'll have to go back and reference the video. It was something, oh, I just completely, that's hilarious. I have no idea what the heck I was just gonna say. But it's really around this thing of go do the thing and you shall have the power. Emerson, I think Ralph, who said that? Emerson? I think Ralph Waldo Emerson said that. Somebody really, genius philosopher like that. Do the thing, you shall have the power. And it's really me getting out there doing this thing. Oh, here's what I told the stage. You can take away my phone, all my contacts, all memories I have of anybody's name where I don't have any contacts, and the only thing I keep is the knowledge in my mind, not take away all my contacts, Facebook, email list, everything. You could drop me off on any corner in the whole world with an internet connection, and I will go create $1 million business in a very short amount of time. Why? Because of the knowledge I have in my mind. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be one of the best FBAers in the entire planet. And I know I'm not going to just get that by learning a bunch of stuff. I'm going to get there by applying this process as fast as I can and as many times as I can, over and over and over and over. Why? Repetition is the mother of all skill. Why? Because I'm creating these myelin connections in my brain. I did a whole video on this a week or two ago. I hope that thing's my blog. It's something about, if you're looking on YouTube, or hopefully it's on my blog, how I prove you can learn anything. Something about you can learn anything, and it was somewhere in middle to late May that I did that video of 2014. So I go into all the process, but I'm going into that because I want to go through that process as fast and as many times as I can and create all those connections, because it's going to turn me into one of the best fulfillment by Amazon people in the entire planet. And that's my real goal. Why? Because when I do that, it's like crazy millions of dollars. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy money, crazy fast. And so, and I know that I say millions and that may blow your mind. I'm doing this really to inspire people, really to set this bar so high where someone can look at this and be like, well, I can do 10% of that. I mean, I'm gonna crank this out. I do 10,000 a month at minimum, and all of a sudden, you're like, well shoot, I can do 1,000 a month, no problem. What does that do for your life? 1,000 a month completely destroys limiting beliefs. It completely destroys, it's probably a gigantic raise from whatever your household income is right now, at least at 10%, or some of you it's a little less than that. But for you, a lot of you might be 20%, 30, 40% household income raise, 50%. That's a big, big deal. And that starts to destroy limiting beliefs. Then we have new problems with financial thermostats, and all of a sudden you're making too much and you're gonna sabotage it, and that's a whole different set of videos. But let's go have that. As you make more money, you just get higher quality problems. Your problems aren't gonna go away. So I remember some rap song stuff, more money, more problems. That's really a bunch of garbage. It's why you shouldn't really listen to mainstream media. There's a lot of trash like they put in your head. But there is such a thing as more money, more quality of problems. It doesn't mean more problems. It means you get a different set of problems, but they're higher quality. So instead of figuring out what's the best bankruptcy attorney to contact, like one of my problems 9 years ago, I have different problems like what's the best tax attorney to contact for me to protect my assets to the most so I am not paying stupid tax. Stuff like that. Those are different people to contact, different experts, a higher quality of problem because they have more money now. So you're always going to have problems and go through these processes, but my game plan around this right now, it's to source at least one product from China, and ideally a couple as fast as I can, 2, 3 products, something like that. And maybe I'll keep the quantities lower, 100, 50, 200, I don't know, 500, I'm not sure yet. And as I'm doing that, I'm ripping through this process again and again, or at least 2 or 3 times. And for one product, when I need to order more, I go through parts of this process again when I go to reorder. Not the whole process, but parts of it. And then I do the same thing with some US distribution, and I do it at lower quantities. And what's happening is I'm researching products each time. I'm walking through all of this and figuring out all my costs and this and this and this, contacting the people, getting all my details. So I'm getting good at grabbing all these numbers up front. Let's say I figure out these are my exact numbers for the very first product I do. And let's say when all's said and done, I was off by this and it was actually only $1 I made, like I was way off. Or let's say I was way off in the other direction, I actually make like $3.50. There's actually some safeties built in, so I can't screw it up like that bad. But let's just say I did anyway. Let's say I forgot about the safeties and I skipped a step. I'm like, oh dude. So that's something, a learning process. I can guarantee you I'm not gonna do that again. I want to make mistakes, I want to fail. Because failure is the fertilizer to success, and as I make these failures, I course correct on to getting to this tiny little initial goal. Because beyond this goal, here's the goal. Guys, I've had a limiting belief for a long time. I set a goal. My perfect ideal lifestyle. I'm gonna put it right here because this is actually important. It's 139,000 something per month. It actually might be 138,000 and change. I can't remember because I haven't looked at that spreadsheet for like 4 to 6 months or so. But it breaks down my exact dream lifestyle. And it's not just about cars and houses and garbage like that. It's really about the money I want to give back to the world and things I want to do. And I can guarantee you when I get there that I'm going to increase it even further. But I'll tell you right now, I've been around 5 figures a month for like 6 years, whatever, long time now, long time. And when you sit somewhere long enough, you start to adapt this financial thermostat. And I know to crank that up, basically add a 0 to my income. When I do this, and as I go to 100,000 a month profit, that is right now, for me, I have limiting beliefs around making $100,000 a month. It may be like, let's say I remember for a long time making like $4,000 to $7,000 a month. I didn't think I could make $10,000 a month, and I had limiting beliefs around cracking that extra 0 and getting above $10,000 a month. Well, I got there and I blew by it and I messed some things up, but I figured it out, and I've been there for years and years now. And so I know this is really exciting to me personally right now, cracking over 100,000 a month. You know, things go through my mind like some of the most successful people in my family. I think the most successful made $250,000 per year, like 1 year. I had a neighbor that did, I think he said, he either did 300 or 350,000 in 1 year. In a year, guys, a whole year. I'm talking about most people I know. I'm talking about $1.2 million a year in income. That's like 3 or 4 times all those examples I just gave. And those are like the most wealthy people that I have direct personal contacts with. Now, I'm not talking about other contacts. Like, I know guys that make a lot. They already make 150, 200,000 a month, stuff like that. I have mentors exactly like that. I could call them up right now on the phone, they would answer. But I'm thinking about more like in my local sphere of influence. And actually now I have neighbors up the street. I don't know what the heck they do, but I have some neighbors that own at least 10 to 20 franchises or more of like 3 or 4 different ones. And they have so many locations, they probably make close to 10K per location. They probably make 1 to 200K a month or more right now. I should get to know them. My sister directly knows them, has been at their house 1 billion times. So I should probably network through that, figure it out, go interview them and get inside their head. But the point is, guys, that's what excites me right now. So this is like a little stepping stone. So when I say this little amount of money, I'm not saying that whatever your feelings are around $10,000 a month, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel bad because you don't need to compare to me. We're different people. There are other people watching this that be like, dude, I'm already here. Quit playing around. I'm looking to go $1 million a month. And so you don't compare yourself to me or to anybody else in the entire world. You compare yourself to you and where you're at right now. And so I didn't mean to go into all that, but I wanted to tell you guys that my real plan here is to get through this process so many times that I really get massive experience quickly, and then just keep hammering through that process, keep refining, keep course correcting on the way up to, right now up here, $139,000 a month. My fullest God-given potential. It's actually, I'll tell you guys, I've realized that's not my fullest potential. It's somewhere way down here in the middle. And I'm over here right now, and I need to course correct and figure out how to get to be a new 10 grand a month and get beyond that to get to 139K a month. But I've realized there's something way beyond that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna rip through and go to $1 million a month. I'm not worried about that right now. Right now, I'm worried about $139,000 a month, but on the way there, I realized a sub goal, and I'm already at 5 figures a month. So you guys gotta realize, I'm not starting at zero, but I am talking about this process, I'm at zero. I haven't made a single dollar on Amazon, ever. I think I was an Amazon affiliate years ago before they booted Colorado off when Colorado tried to charge sales tax. And I may have sold some affiliate products through an affiliate link on Amazon. I don't think so. I think I tried to and never sold one. But if I did, probably 10, 20, 30 bucks max, something like that. But I've never made a single penny from Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. That's what I'm talking about. I'm at zero. We're talking about going from zero to a new 10,000 a month income. We're not talking about any existing income, just like I'm not talking about your current household income. We're not including any of that stuff. We're talking about brand new from scratch, new money, I'll call it. And so I wanted to kind of paint that picture for you guys with a real strong emphasis on I am in this for the journey. I'm in this for the learning, because that, just like I said, once I get all that, I can go make a new $1 million a month income, drop me off on any corner as I go through this process and really master all this. So, and the market is so big out there. You can be rolling in 30K, 50K, 100K a month off one single product. That's like one little product. Amazon sells millions and millions of things, different ASIN numbers or whatever. I don't even know how many ASIN numbers there are. I'm very interested to go. I'm gonna go look that up right now. But whatever the number is, you only need one to make 30, 50, 100,000 a month, much less this little number right here. And what I believe, I'll call my medium-term future in the next like 3, 6, 12 months holds. I believe I will have probably 10 major products doing FBA, and I'm talking about 10 products that is like the worst ones are profiting 10K a month. The worst products I have. Better ones, above that. I have 10 products doing 10,000 a month. I'm at 100K a month. I can all of a sudden see my goal that used to be so far out there. I created that goal back in 2008 or 9. This goal, 139,000. Now I finally see the road to get there. I'm running down it. And I actually am crazy enough to believe I can get there in the next 12 months. That's pretty awesome. So guys, that's enough for today's video. So we're ending out day 4 of the Genesis 90-day case study. So take care, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I will state really quickly, my goals are to get through the rest of traditional tonight. I'm not going to bed until they're done. I don't care what time it is. And I'm gonna go squeeze in. I say squeeze in, it's not a hassle. I am blessed to go get to spend time with my wife and children right now. I'm gonna go spend time with them, dinner, do all the stuff. I may even do extra time with my wife depending on how she's feeling. We might watch we're watching, it's not Breaking Bad, what's it called? What's the zombie thing? Is it Walking Dead? Yeah, Walking Dead. So we started on that a few months ago. We're actually on season 4 right now, somewhere on episode 3, 4, 5, 6, something. And I realized season 5 is already over, so we have many a nights. We probably have another, what, 20 to 25 nights worth of watching an episode of that. So there's 20 to 25 hours of my life over the next month or so. So anyway, I'm gonna go do that because that's really living a life. I'm not gonna sit here at my computer for the next 10 hours straight. I'm gonna go spend some awesome family time. Then I'm gonna come down here and kick the tail out of the rest of this course. And I'm gonna go see what's happening right now. If the timing's not good, if kids are running around outside, stuff like that, I might come right back down here and do the rest tonight. So that's it, guys. That's a recap. That's what's happening. Any other financial stuff? I have not made progress in the last day or two on any listing more things, getting more local money, selling our vans, stuff like that. That's something I need to start working on, but I do believe that part of the process, you know, part of the fees, they're gonna come from Amazon, part of these fees. So I can get some of these fees going. The Amazon fees aren't even gonna happen until I have the stuff at Amazon. And in that process, I'm in the middle of securing more cash from selling advanced stuff like that. So that's my thinking out loud. That's my case study right here. So right now my numbers going in, my pro forma kind of thing, I need to be investing 30K to make an additional 10K, which was the goal of this case study. And so to get before that, a third of that, when I put in around 10K, which is approximately my guesstimates right now on the cash I can get a hold of, even though banks are sitting at about 0 right now, grab a hold of about 10K this first month here, which should bring me about 1/3 of this, which is around $3,000 to $4,000 profit, basically the first month or so. That's kind of what's happening in my head right here. Now I've already spent 4 days out of 90. I better start really making some things happen and getting some things shipped. So that's it, guys. Love you guys. I hope you're enjoying this stuff. To your ultimate success, God bless, guys.